Hey guys. Oh, this is weird doing it by myself. So hey guys, welcome back. I'm very up close and personal today because I have quite a personal topic to talk about. I'm probably a bit nervous about talking about this, but it is a big topic and I feel like it needs to be discussed. I don't know if I mentioned it on any other videos, but I have come from a history of having an eating disorder, and I would say I'm still in recovery. My video today is about when you lose your period having had an eating disorder. I still haven't got my period back and it's been 6 years. Actually, it's been 7 years, I think. It's been a long time. So I made some little notes, guys, bear with me. I know a lot of people lose their period, but they don't talk about it. And I don't think you should be ashamed of talking about losing your period. It's a thing that every woman in this country, in this world, goes through. A period, that is, not losing it. And when you lose it, I don't think people realise in the moment the big impact that that can have down the line for when you're older, when you have kids. So I'm making this video now because I'm about to embark on my own journey of trying to get my period back. It's been a long journey already, actually, but next week, I don't know, actually by the time this goes out I probably would have had my operation. Yeah, so next I'll talk about that a bit later on. A lot of people lose their period when they're going through an eating disorder. If you don't lose your period, it doesn't mean you aren't suffering. It used to be that you have to have not had a period for 3 months to be diagnosed with anorexia, but I know they've taken that off now. So if you're watching this at home and you have an eating disorder and you still have your period, it doesn't mean you're healthy. Healthy, that term healthy. It just means that if you do lose it, something isn't right, and it is a factor that tells you something is wrong and you should listen to your body, because your body is very clever. It knows when it needs to preserve energy, and it knows when it needs to turn off functions that are not vital in the moment. I don't know what your experiences are, as if you've had treatment for an eating disorder or you've seen a doctor, a GP, anyone, but when I first lost my period and all the doctors would say to me, you'll get it back when you're healthy. And even the nutritionists, yeah, they just said, yeah, when you eat better, you'll have more fuel to fuel your body for all its purposes. When I said, what if it doesn't come back? They said, no, it will. And I know a lot of women, they just believe that it'll come back. But what if it doesn't come back? That's what's happened to me. And I tried to ask my doctor, and they just don't know now. And it's gone on for so long. I'm going to start telling you about my story of an eating disorder, because I haven't really talked about that. When I was 17, I started restricting really heavily, and it was depression that started my eating disorder. I was just in a really bad space. I was living abroad away from my friends. I began just eating healthy at first. I thought I was doing a good thing. I mean, a lot of you probably have the same kind of story. I just started eating salads and fruit and went swimming every day. I began to throw up if I felt that what I'd eaten wasn't good for me, you know. And I lost a lot of weight really quickly in the beginning. Everyone noticed it, and everyone was like, wow, you look amazing, and it kind of spurred me on. And then my period stopped, and the first time it stopped, so I think it was a week after I was meant to get it, and I was sexually active at the time, so I was petrified that I was pregnant. And that's what I thought. I couldn't stop thinking about it. And then my friend Emily, she bought me a pregnancy test, not a period test. She bought me a pregnancy test, and they're hard to get in Indonesia. This is a third world country where women are not meant to have sex before they are married and all. So she bought me a pregnancy test, and I don't know if you tried a pregnancy test for the first time, you're just terrified. You have to wait for that 2 minutes for the lines to turn up. And I did it. She stayed with me, and it was negative. So obviously I was really relieved, but then I was like, why is my period stopped? And I hadn't really thought about it. I didn't really think about the damage I was doing to my body. I started to research on the computer, and then I read that period loss is a big side effect of eating disorders. I learned that if you're eating too little, exercising too much, then it affects your hormone, affects your hypothalamus, and basically your body can't cope. But also I would like to add there are a lot of other reasons that your period can stop if you're stressed. I know moving house is one of the main causes of period loss because of all the stress that you have, but also depression, illness, medications, obesity, thyroid problems, tumours. So no matter what, you should check it out. I know a lot of women just think like, oh, I'll come back in a few months, but you should check it out because it could be a number of things and they're all serious. I mean, if depression is causing your period to stop, it must be pretty serious, and stress, and that's not good for your body. Think about all the pathways is interrupting. Anyway, so I just did a bit of research earlier. Yeah, amenorrhea, that's what it's called. I find it really hard to pronounce that word. AMENORRHEA, yeah, I think that's right. Is when the normal secretion of gonadotrophin releasing hormone from the hypothalamus is interrupted. And this can occur when a woman engages in excessive exercise and or restricts food intake, which lowers your body mass than what is healthy for you. I want to say that is what is healthy for you, because for me, when before I had an eating disorder, I was a bit heavier, maybe BMI 24. But some people are naturally BMI 18, and that's where their body sits fine at. So don't think about what is the healthy, like 18.5 to 25. That is a range, and your healthy weight will be in that range. It's not necessarily 18.5. You might think, oh, I wish it was 18.5, so I only have to go back to that. But you've got to just listen to your body knows. Functional hypothalamic amenorrhea, that's another term, and that's the most extreme form of menstrual disturbance that can occur from a chronic restricted energy balance. And that's what I think I have. But my doctors have never said anything, they just said you've got amenorrhea, and I'm like, I'm really interested in medical stuff, so it just annoyed me how I kept saying it and they never checked for me. Yeah, anyway, so if you don't have any period, that is obviously a sign that the body cannot maintain itself. In a lot of treatment groups and stuff, people say that once you hit your period, once your period comes back, you can begin to lower your intake. But I think that they shouldn't say that, because then you get into a mindset of, oh, my period's come back, I don't have to gain any more weight, but that might not be healthy for you. And you cut down your food, which can be really damaging. Like, I don't think they realise what a damaging effect that has on your mind. So anyway, back to my story. So I lost my period for a few months, and then it came back towards the end of my stay in Indonesia because I was a bit happier. And then I moved to England, went to uni, and then a year into uni, I had a big relapse and I lost a lot of weight, more weight. I never reached back. When my period came back, I probably got to about BMI 21, and then I dropped right down, and obviously my period stopped. And then I went to day patient. Sorry about the talk of numbers, by the way, I don't mean to trigger. I went to treatment and I gained weight, but only to minimum healthy, and I kind of knew in myself, I admitted it, like, my period's not going to come back. Then since then I've gained a lot more weight, I'm a lot healthier, and it still hasn't come back. And for the whole time I was in treatment, the doctors were saying it will come back, you just have to wait. Then it got to a point, I finished uni now, it still wasn't coming back, and I was worried. I was like, what if there's something else? I started to research it more, and I know people get into that mindset, like, oh, it could be anything. So I was obviously worried, and I had some blood tests because I just kept pushing for it, and my estrogen was really, really low. But that's hard to test as well, because your hormones go up and down throughout your cycle, your menstrual cycle, so it's not really a good indicator. And then finally, it was about 2 years ago, I had my first ultrasound. So they referred me for an ultrasound because I had a lot of pain as well. I had like pain, my bowels were messed up, I was like weeing a lot. I went to the student doctor hospital in Bristol, and I went into a room with a gynecologist and then a student doctor and a student nurse. There was 3 of them, and I had to lie on a bed, and they literally, like, one of them stuck their hand up my vagina, and then one of them stuck like a big ultrasound stick up there, and then another one was feeling everywhere. It was so awkward. And then another person came in the room, like the radiographer, and there was like 4 people looking at my vagina. So yeah, that was funny, interesting time. On that first test, she found there was a cyst. I think it's my right ovary. They were going to watch, and I was meant to have like a scan every 3 months, and then I never heard anything. And then it got to a year later, I kind of forgotten about it. I went travelling, I was busy. I should still check this out. And then I went to a doctor in London, and I got referred to a gynae, and they did another scan, and my cysts got bigger. And then on my other ovary, they found like some follicles, but it's not polycystic, she said. And then I said, okay, maybe the cyst has got bigger, maybe it's stopping my period. And I was like, okay, that's good. Like, if it comes out, it will bring my period back. And I was like, yeah, it's not like an issue. I can stay at this weight, I'm fine. But she was like, no, this wouldn't stop your period. So I was a bit confused. And she said, no, there must be another reason. So they decided what they're going to do is they're taking out my cyst on Monday from today, is when I'm filming this, and put it in the Mirena coil, because I was put on the pill a few times. Firstly, it didn't work to bring my period back. I know a lot of doctors put you on the pill to give you some estrogen for your bones, but it's not a real period. But mine never came back anyway on the pill, and it gave me really bad mood swings. So I'm going to get the coil, pumps progesterone directly into your ovaries, and it doesn't cause all the mood problems. So that's what I'm at. But I want to talk about the consequences in general, not having periods. Big one is, people don't really think about it, but your calcium stores are really depleted. And I want to say to anyone who hasn't had a period for at least a year, 2 years, go and ask for a bone scan. The criteria is a year or 2 years, I think. I can't remember which one it is, but they're meant to refer you. Push for it, because I've got osteopenia, and that was done 2 years ago, so I've probably got osteoporosis by now. You don't think about it at a young age, but you will feel it when you're older and you're getting fractures everywhere. And I have a lot of pain, and I wish that I had tried to sort this out earlier, because I don't know if I'm infertile, and that's like really sad to me. I really want to have kids. That's like my dream for a long time. It's a bit cringy, I know, but it's real. I'm trying to be real and honest here. Infertility is obviously a big problem if you don't have a period for so long, and from an eating disorder, and premenopausal symptoms, like you can go into menopause now at any age, and that is night sweats, low mood, loss of sleep, and I have that anyway a lot of the time, so I'm really hoping I'm not premenopausal. I'm only 24. But yeah, basically I just wanted to do this video to urge people, if you're sitting at home watching this and you haven't had a period, go to your doctor, advocate for yourself. I know it's hard when you're in the depths of your eating disorder. You don't think about the future, you think about the now. You think, oh, I look horrible, I need to lose all this weight. But then when you're finally out of it and you can breathe again, and then you're like, oh my god, what have I done to my body? And I'm still trying to be happy with my body. I'm not 100%. I mean, I know my pre-eating disorder weight was a lot higher, and I probably do need to gain more, and if it doesn't work, I will try, and I'm still battling, but I'm a lot clearer now. My head is less foggy, and I know what I have done. And obviously it's not my fault, it's a mental disorder, and I'm forgiving myself for it, but I really hope that I can get my period back. So I'm going to take you guys on my journey, and yeah, I just want to educate girls to fight for it, check there's nothing wrong, get them to do blood tests, get them to do ultrasounds, and yeah, that's my start of my period journey. So thanks for watching, guys. Hit the thumbs up, subscribe, turn your notifications on, and let me know what you want me to talk about. If it's to do with eating disorders, depression, gynae stuff, I don't know. But yeah, I'm going to do a video about my operation at NHS during COVID, which is on Monday. I'm a bit nervous, but I will keep you guys updated. Thank you.